Alright, you bloody legends, what are we going to do today? We are doing an unboxing of the Talaria XXX. I know you little buggers all love this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it, we're going to show you how to do it. So that way, you know. First thing we do, grab the handy box cutter, slice your straps off. Obviously, use a better box cutter than one of these. But, we'll get there. Boom. Boom. Now, a lot of you guys think that you got to unbox the cardboard. You don't. All you got to do, there's your bike. Amazing, I know. Alright. So, I figured no one's brought to you guys a XXX unboxing yet, so let's do it today. First thing you'll notice is your front wheel comes in a separate box. And from there, get rid of all the plastic. Look at that, it's a blue one. Some lucky kid out there is going to have this done personally by me. So, get the toolkits out. You'll have two boxes. Get rid of all your rubbish. You'll also just be careful, but your brake levers are detached. We're just going to put them on later. That's all good. And you'll notice the bigger box, this is actually a charger. So, we don't even need to open that right now. But, slice the tape off on your brake levers for starters. Alright, now that those are unboxed, put them off to the side, obviously making sure we don't damage the paintwork. And let's open up our box. Now the cool part is, Talaria actually give you all your tools necessary for the build. It's not too hard, it's not too complicated, alright, you just got to have confidence, that's the main thing. Alright, so in the box, you've got your pegs, that we'll put on later. You've got your key tags, your front wheel spacers, your front plate, your quick release for your suspension. Now you don't actually have to put this in. This is an afterthought in case you want to be able to get your battery out quickly. But in reality, as long as you're charging the bike to the right charger, you don't need to take your battery out. And you also get a couple of zip ties as well too to put the front plate on. Right. This little guy here, and your toolkit. Now this toolkit is everything you need to put this bike together. So, put this to the side, keys, zip ties, put it all back in the box because otherwise you'll lose it, to be honest with you. Like, let's face it, we all do. Grab this. Get those out. So these are your pegs. And the bolts to put them on are actually in the box here. Let's start putting it together. You'll notice that you have down here some zip ties holding the guard on. Cut that. Well, there's your front mud guard. It's not the rear, even though they put it on the rear. I know it's a bit confusing, but hey, we'll go through it together so that way you know. So getting the excess zip ties off, you'll find that your handlebars are actually zip tied to your rear wheel. Alright, grab those off. Now, your handlebars, you've got your display, your light switches, and throttle. All we've got to do, alright guys, so first thing we've got to do, we've got your handlebars, alright, Now in your little bag of goodies, you've got you'll find this little black ring. Now what that does, it actually goes over your head stem just here, okay? And then we grab our handlebars, make sure they're aligned properly. And just push them down. Obviously not dropping your toolkit like a bloody drongo, but get it in there. Grab your toolkit. Now, you'll find in your little bag of goodies as well too, top cap. Okay? So in your tools, you've got Allen keys, you've got a 15mm spanner, 10 and a 12mm spanner. Alright? This is all you need. Grab your top cap, screw it in. Do it by hand, don't use an Allen key straight off because you want to know that it's going in smoothly, it shouldn't be tight. When you're ready, grab your Allen key, and what you'll notice is that if you align the front of this with the light, make sure they're straight, because obviously if they're a bit crooked, you're probably not going to ride right. Grab it here, and tighten it down. Now you can always readjust this later once the wheel's on if you feel like it's not slightly accurate, but if you aim with the two little points towards the light, you'll be pretty straight. Now, this is your safety in question, so always try and do it up as tight as possible. There we go. Now, from there, you've got all your little plugs. So what you'll notice is all the plugs actually fit in with each other. Your red one here will go to your female plug over here. Plugs in nice and tight. Then you've got your two brake levers, which we won't plug in yet. We've got your male plug that goes into the female plug off the handlebars. Now, they've got a little notch in them, so if you line the notch together, they fit perfectly. So there's only one way to do it. You can't hurt it, just take your time and be careful about how you do it. You have your throttle cable. Now, with your throttle cable, make sure that it's in properly, so it actually has a bit more depth than the other plugs. Just align the notch together with the hole, and boom, she's in. She's ready to go. Okay? With your handlebars, tighten these. So obviously the bolts are a little bit loose. There we go. Now, you won't do a wheelie and your handlebars fall off. Amazing, right? Now, probably all wondering, yes, you can turn the bar on. It does work. But let's not do that until everything else is connected. Now this is the blue Talaria. They also come in red and black. So depending on your colour preference, and if you're happy to wait that little bit extra time, depending on shipping, this is a great way to start getting out and about, exploring life. Obviously, they're not legal for the paths or the roads, but private property, bush tracks, anything like that, you can have a lot more fun on. And as well too, it gets you out from playing video games. So massive plus. front. Now obviously take care to know where your cabling lies, because cabling is absolutely essential to meaning that you're going to have a better riding experience. I know it sounds silly, but if your cables are in the wrong way, you're not going to steer properly, you're not going to be able to enjoy the experience nearly as much as what you think. So always make sure that your cables are not interfering with anything else, interfering with your steering. Alrighty, chuck that one on there. Again, use the back of the Allen key, just so that way you can find the right tension point and you're not threading the screws. The last thing you need to be doing is threading your screws. Especially when you're at home, 8 o'clock at night, and you have no hardware store to be able to ride your brand new Talaria. So, even pressure again on the right side. So, right is your front and left is your rear brake. Do not get it confused, because otherwise you'll be going over the handlebars. It's not fun. I know. Alright. Tension, tension. Perfect. Now you'll notice that your red plugs are here. They're for your brakes. Again, they've got little notches in them, and they've also got a little green dot to show you where to plug it in. Now, these little brake sensors, a lot of kids like to unplug them. So what they do is, if you want to do wheelies or anything like that, these will activate the regeneration in the motor. When that happens, your motor will slow you down, bring your front wheel down. So if you want to be able to have a better control, disengaging the rear brake will give you that better control to be able to keep that wheel on the pivoting form. Alright, now that that's done, what do we got next? We have the front wheel. So, how we get to that? Alrighty guys, so now the next step is chuck on your front guard. So you'll notice that when you pull apart the shrink wrap, right, you'll have 3 holes. 1 front, 2 back. All you got to do, amazing enough, 1, release the strap. Now you get to keep this for later. How cool is that? Alright, down here, grab your Allen keys. Now you've got washers in the box. Please use them. Put your washer. Grab your, what is this? 4mm Allen key. Do your rear first. And then we do the front. Again, screw it in with your longer side so that way you know that you've got it correctly. If it's tight or it feels weird, take your bolt out, start again. Because it should never be tight. It should actually be quite smooth of a process. There we go. Then, is your front guard on. Tighten her all up, and she's good to go. Alright, now the next step, which I don't understand, because otherwise it's going to be a hell of a job. Now, if you don't understand, don't stress. Grab a milk crate, grab a chair, just something to prop the center of the bike on, so that way it's easier for you to change tyre, or put the tyre back on. Alrighty guys, so once it's actually in the packet, what we got to do, grab your big thick Allen key, and undo it from the front. You'll find your little caps here, pull the cap off, Alright, once you got the strap undone, use your hand and you just knock the pin out. Can be a little bit of a pain, but get your pin out. It's quite easy. Just take the tension off. Alright. Once it's done, get your milk crate, jack stand, chuck her off. Now, still keep your bar and your cap. What we're going to do is going to jack it up. That should be enough. We get that front wheel, we get the head early. Alright, so we've got our spacers, we've got our bar. All we've got to do is put the front wheel on. Now you'll find that there is actually a little brake caliper holder in there. So you take that out before you slip your disc in. Make sure your discs are completely straight. Slide her in.
Could you adjust and send it to me?
Now, what we do with our wheel, we put our spacers in, either side. There we go. Grab our bar, slide it through. Like that. Grab that cap, screw it on the end. And you know what? You're almost ready to ride the Talaria. Grab your Allen key. Bit more thicker one. This one here. Screw it on. Now, grab your other Allen key. One thing that a lot of people do and fail with this is tighten up your Allen keys that hold your axle in. Because if you don't do that, you'll find that you're going to have a lot of trouble later on in keeping it right. So, grab your Allen key, tighten her up. And we're so close to being ready. We're so close. You know what?
We're about to start to turn it on.
Now, all we're going to do is the front fascia plate.
Would you like to pack the backpack and get it going?
There we
No,
go.
I was asking you.
Grab the zip tie.
No, you're asking me.
Put it on there.
They make me do all
You
the
got
fucking hard work.
3 other zip ties. Chuck this one down in through that little hole there.
Would you like to tell me?
This just hides all your little cable work or anything like that. Chuck this there. Chuck this here. Now this young fella's Talaria is obviously going to look bloody mint. DJ high voltage experience.
I'm gonna get a good sleeping tomorrow while I do the hot water thing. That means
Try, no matter how you do it, just try and do it as neat as possible because this is your product. So you want to make sure everything's kosher. Boom. How's that? Turns left and right. Let's see if she turns on. Hey guys, so we got the pegs on. There we go, ready to roll. Now we just got to use our spanner, tighten the bolts, and then we're done. How good. Look at this beast. Hello, Josh. Meow. Now to turn your Talaria on, you press the on button, it'll go red. Alright, you've got your NFC key, XXX. Boom. Now watch that display turn on. There we go. You'll see it come up with the weight symbol. Now, Talarias have a thing with the kickstand, so you've got to kick it up. Alright, still has weight, but go over, press the start symbol. Ready comes up. There we go. Now, we have a Talaria ready to roll. And that's it, guys. That's how you make a Talaria out of the box. Hope this experience helped you well. Yeah. If you ever need any questions, let me know. I love e-motos. I'm the guy in Australia to do it, so let me know. I'm always here. Cheers, guys. DJ High Voltage, Dan from iScoot.